Dyson Logistics have been on board with SharkCast since day one, and because of that and their excellent service, we are proud to be associated with them. Dyson Logistics provides tailored logistical solutions to meet your individual client needs and is set apart by its personalized service. Dyson is a strong worldwide agent network, enabling highly competitive rates, and I should also point out their head honcho is a lifelong season ticket holder of the mighty Cronulla Sharks. Find them online, www.dysonlogistics.com, or call them on 02 8339 1844. Dyson Logistics, service delivered.
SharkCast! SharkCast! Fafita tries to crash his way over, he does! Fafita got the ball over the line!
And to all you people back in the Shire, turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. My name is Sam Shinazzi, an OG from 2015, and this show is brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Motor Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes at Cripps and Cripps Real Estate. Thanks everyone for being in touch. SharkCastPod@gmail.com. DM us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Please follow us if you're not already doing so. Please follow the podcast, subscribe, follow whatever the button is that you have on your app or website, and you'll never miss an episode. We have merchandise available, rugbyleaguemerch.com. There's a brand new Premiers 2016 t-shirt. I hinted about it a few weeks ago. I haven't promoted it very well. It's out there and it's glorious. So if that's your kind of thing, a black t-shirt, a white t-shirt, 2016, with a lot of information on there about the game itself, shall we say. Go check it out. Anyway, enough spruiking. I'm here to talk about round one, Cronulla v South Sydney Shark Park on Saturday night, 7:30 or just a touch after. Sold out. If you don't have a ticket, you won't get in. If you need a ticket, find a ticket. But it's sold out. Should be a great atmosphere. That kind of sold out atmosphere always brings a great vibe. There will be some South Sydney fans there, but I would imagine the Sharks fans definitely outnumber them by a significant amount in the equation of a sold out Shark Park. So looking forward to being amongst that, and it's just going to be great to be home. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been since that awful game against the Cowboys. The game itself was actually pretty amazing, but the results was awful. And the feeling of leaving that ground was one of the worst ever. So looking to make amends, also looking to make up for the loss to South Sydney in week 2 of the finals last year, and let's get it done this week. Team news. Not too much change there, except for one obvious one, which we'll get to, but your team is Will Kennedy, wingers Sione Katoa and Ronaldo Militalo. I should point out the Sharks released a fantastic pronunciation video for the surnames, or actually first name and surname of the Sharks players, done by the players themselves, and I will try and rectify the way that I speak. It's hard though, but I will, of course, because I want to respect the players and their heritage. They know that. You guys know that too. Centres, Jesse Ramian and Siosifa Talakai. Halves, Matt Moylan and Braden Trindle. So Nicho Hynes is out, as we all know. We'll get to that in a minute. Braden Trindle comes in. Starting front row is Toby Rudolph, Blake Brayley, and Braden Hamlin-Welly. And your back rowers are Britton Nikora, Teague Wilton, and Dale Finucane, who's also the captain. Cam McInnes, Wade Graham, who is, I guess, a co-captain of sorts. Oregon Kafusi, and Jack Williams is your immediate bench. McInnes, Graham, Kafusi, and Williams. 18th man is Connor Tracy, with Mawini Hiroti, Thomas Hazelton, Jaden Barrow, and Niwa Paru all on the bench as I record. Some of those will drop off, of course, on Friday nights. So, a lot of people are asking about the Nicho Hynes injury. I am not privy to specific information. The coach keeps saying that it's nothing overly serious, as in it's not a major injury. It's more of a niggling injury. There are reporters out there saying 4 to 6 weeks. I think the safest thing to do is probably aim for the middle of that. I wouldn't say it's necessarily 1 week. I wouldn't say it's going to be 6 weeks, but it might be more than one game is what I'm hearing. So we'll have further news on that, I'm sure, as the weeks go on. Looking at the South Sydney team, it's strong, definitely strong. Latrell Mitchell, Alex Johnson, halves of Cody Walker and Lachlan Ilias. A pretty good forward pack in Totola, Cook, Burgess, Kolomatangi, Jai Arrow, and Cameron Murray. It's a good forward pack, and I think that's where the game's going to be won. I think we have a much better bench than what they do. They've got Blake Taff, Michael Cheekham, Davey Moali, and Shaq Mitchell, all players of either potential or experience. But looking at our bench, I think our bench supersedes that. So, again, that may be one of the keys to victory, if you will, having the superior bench. As far as Braden Trindle goes, I think if he just plays a solid game, and I'm going to use the word safe, but it doesn't mean he should shut up shop. I just mean he needs to play, I think, somewhat conservatively to get the job done. And then I think the team around him will do their job, and I think that'll be enough to get the win. But I think if Trindle kind of tries to do everything himself, for example, I'm not suggesting he will, but if he was to do that, I think that would be a bit of a negative and a bit of a game changer. So kick well, chase well, tackle well, use your attacking skills when the opportunity is there. And also I want to see Matt Moylan step up like he did last year and have an impactful game. And let's see if there can be more than one dominant kicker, and maybe a Will Kennedy, maybe a Blake Brayley can step in and do some more kicking to relieve Trindle, who will be the main targeted kicker. As far as history goes between these teams, this will be the 93rd clash. The Sharks have won 47, Souths have won 42. There's been 3 drawn matches. We know that Sharks were eliminated by South Sydney last year, 38-12. They've won 4 of the past 6 against Cronulla, scoring 20 points or more in all 6 matches. So let's keep them to below 20 points for starters, and let's defend really well at home like we know we can do. At home, we've got the better record. We've won the past 4 and 7 of the last 8, so that's a fantastic record to hang on to and to keep working on. And of course, the last time they met at Shark Park was that glorious Golden Point match with Nico Hines kicking the field goal with 3 minutes remaining in that extra time period. This will be the second time in the past 4 seasons the teams have played in round 1. 2020 they played, as well as 1978 and 1988. We know about the opening round record for Cronulla in recent history. They have the equal worst opening round record of 15%, along with Manly. Our only 2 wins were against the Drags in 2021 and in 2013 against the Titans in that very memorable, for different reasons, game at Shark Park. We won 9 of 11 last year at Shark Park, so let's keep that going. The Rabbitohs had a sensational year last year as well, making it all the way to the prelim, where they led the Panthers 12-0 before giving up that lead and bowing out. South's preseason, they went down narrowly to Manly in the first week, and they thumped the Dragons in the Charity Shield. So that's just a little bit of history and information on the clash this week. It should be a great one. I do think that the forward clash, as cliched as it is, and as often as I'll probably say it this year, I think the forward clash will go a long way to winning this game, both in attack and defence. Let's get the completions up high like they were in the trial matches, and let's get on with it. I think if we play like we played in the trials, I think we'll win the game. So there's no reason to think that that won't happen. And there is a lot of pressure on the number 7, but it is a team sport and all of them need to lift and play to their capabilities. There is a bit of mail around. I'm not going to get to it in this episode for varying reasons, but I promise that I will either reply to you or I will get to it on a show in the future. Some of the questions are more suitable for when I have a special co-host with me. So stay patient with me on the mail. Please keep writing. Please keep sending in your correspondence. I'd love to hear from you guys and girls, as do all of the SharkCast crew. We're in for a big year on and off the field with the Sharks as well as on the podcast. We've got a lot of plans, a lot of things kind of in motion, which will be revealed as they go along throughout the year. Some, minor, and some might be noticeable, I'm not sure, but definitely all positive things. So cannot thank you enough for your support. Cannot thank you enough for the loyalty that you show in this podcast. It's just completely appreciated, and hopefully you can acknowledge that because it's the absolute truth. Best thing you can do for the podcast is to share it around, share it with your friends and your families and anyone else who likes the Sharks who hasn't heard the pod. Yeah, just word of mouth, whether it's literally word of mouth or sharing it on your socials, however you want to do it. We'd be completely appreciative. If you feel like doing it, please do so. Obviously, there's no obligation and there's absolutely no dramas if you don't, but just putting it out there. And the other thing I wanted to say is I had a great chat with the Sharks official historian, Ash, who's a friend of the show, who's been on the show before. We had a cup of coffee today. He would like anyone who has historical photos of junior rugby league in the Shire, so team photos specifically, but whatever you have. He has a bit of a project happening. So any kind of junior rugby league photos that you have, particularly the older the better. He's not necessarily looking for anything from the past, 5 years or anything, but just historically, if you or your parent or grandparent has those lying around, he would love to hear about it. So you can get in touch with him via us, and we'll pass you on. So that was just a request from Ash, who was great chatting with today over a cup of Java. Thank you for the coffee, by the way. I don't know if I thanked you. I'm sure I did. Short, sharp, fastish, and we'll be back as soon as we can, as we say. And thanks so much again. Hope you're all well. Enjoy the game no matter where you are watching it in the world. Up Cronulla. The Royal Motor Yacht Club Port Hacking is a hidden gem of the Shire, situated on the banks of the beautiful Port Hacking. It's a great place to catch up with friends, celebrate your birthday or any special occasion, and they always show the NRL live on the big screens. They also have live acoustic music on weekends. Yachty's Bistro is open 7 days and nights for lunch and dinner, and they also do a phenomenal breakfast on weekends. If you mention SharkCast, you get a free garlic bread, baby. The RMYC Port Hacking, proud sponsors of this podcast and big supporters of the Cronulla Sharks. Check out their website, rmycph.com.au. They've got a Facebook page, or you could go old school and call them on 02 9523 9300.
Here it comes. Hydes for the win. Nico Hydes is ice cool. It's Cronulla's night. They've done it again at the death in the Shire.
SharkCast is supported by the best and most honest real estate agent in the Sutherland Shire, Jason Hawes from Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. He's an expert in the Caringbah region and has his eye all across the Shire. Lifelong Sharks fan and supporter of this podcast, if you're looking to buy or sell in the region, the person you need to be talking to is Jason Hawes from Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. Call him on 0410 417 450. That's 0410 417 450. Jason Hawes, Cripps & Cripps Real Estate.
Sharkies! Sharkies!
Fafita tries to crash his way over. He does. Fafita got the ball over the line.
And to all you people back in the Shire, tell your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.